Greetings and salutations, YouTube. This is Etchy Charm coming at you with a new and improved video on the Bard of Mind. So, here we go! The Bard is one of the destruction classes of Homestuck, the passive counterpart to the Prince and the inverse of the Maid. Bards allow destruction of and invite destruction through their aspect. Bards also ghost their opposite aspect until they encounter the Bard's Crisis, an event in their development which pushes them into their own aspect. When this happens, the Bard must make sure that they don't succumb to the whims of their aspect, like how Gamzee was consumed by rage until he learned how to invite destruction through rage a bit more secretly. Gamzee allowed destruction of rage through use of Silver Slime and letting Kargat pap him into calming down, while inviting destruction through rage by channeling his anger into a major power boost and distorting the decisions of Terezi, making her think that killing Vriska was the only option. Bards are also labeled as wildcards, being the reason for their session's improbable victory, spectacular failure, or both. All the best stories have one in them. Now onto the mind aspect. Mind is the inverse of heart and has to do with the mind itself, thought, possibilities, decisions, choices, strategy, justice, and action. I feel like it has to do with justice because it also has to do with fairness and objectivity, two things you need in order to properly deal out justice. Mind players can also be a bit illogical at times, like how Latula felt like she needed to put up her facade as a game girl. Now onto the Bard of Mind himself. The Bard of Mind would ghost heart, meaning that he would have a lot of personality and emotion. So much so that he might seem odd to the other members of his team when it comes to his genuine and interesting, interests, the following of his own beat, and just being a generally weird but fun-loving and honest member of the team. They might even emote and yell in exaggerated ways in order to not seem robotically emotionless. However, just like any other bard, they would eventually succumb to the Bard's Crisis. This bard's particular crisis might involve their biases being whittled down by someone else's logic, like them having to choose between the lives of a few, their friends, or the lives of many, paradox space. Eventually, when this happens, they will start to act a bit like a robot, but with incredibly flawed logic. However, if the Bard of Mind is able to survive their crisis with their minds still intact, they would develop a cynical but healthy view of things while still maintaining their weird but fun personality. Heck, since the Bard is able to allow destruction of possibilities, they might be able to passively avoid the Bard's Crisis altogether, kind of like how the Thief of Hope is such a natural at being optimistic that they might be immune to the low self-esteem that other members of their class might suffer from. Now, as for their powers, I feel like the Bard of Mind has around 6 abilities that I've come up with. The first one being a aura or zone that they'd conjure around them, similar to Giga from Bo-bobo-bo-bo's Emperor Sense that I like to call the Counter Matrix. A zone that would allow the Bard of Mind to kind of destroy an enemy's actions by dodging an enemy's attack and then retaliating with their own attack. But only if their body is able to follow through with the action and if the attack is able to be evaded. They would also be able to lock an enemy's actions, kind of like the disable move from the Pokemon series. Think how a move like this could be used in something like the Undertale universe. Third, they would be able to destroy denizen choices through a sort of domino effect. Fourth, they would be able to conjure mind-destroying parasites or a mind-destroying virus which would be able to whittle away at the opponent's mind to the point that thinking certain thoughts might damage them to the point that it might cause physical harm. This virus could also evolve to the point that it might be able to also shut down a person's mind. Fifth, they would be able to derail someone's train of thought through silly, wily, and possibly malicious antics. And sixth, they would also be able to enter people's minds in order to affect the way they think. You know, unlike the Prince of Mind, who would be able to do this more directly. Although the way the Bard of Mind would do it might take a lot longer for effects to take in, the effects would do a lot more damage over time, in the long run and such. So yeah, for the final notes on the Bard of Mind's powers, I feel like in tandem with their combat matrix, the mind destruction parasites and viruses, and stuff like that, in tandem with the natural strategy ability that mind players would have, the Bard of Mind would be a very dangerous opponent to strife against. However, their main thing would come from them being able to cause mayhem and chaos indirectly like any other bard. So yeah, I believe that's all I have to say on the matter. If you've enjoyed this video, then please like and share it. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe, hit the bell thingy to get notifications on my videos. And if you have any constructive criticism, please leave them down in the comments below. So with that, I bid you dudes adieu.